Hey guys, Crewcaster here, and today we're going to talk about the Moongazing event that just got added to New Genesis. So this is a new seasonal event that comes with, the seasonal points, new shop, and even a limited time quest, and more. But we'll go through all these things one by one, and I'll give you guys the best recommendations for what you want to do during this seasonal event. So first up, as always, we have these seasonal points for this kind of event, and we use these seasonal points at Z-Tray, the NPC, that you find right in front of the central tower. And with her, you can exchange these seasonal points for a whole load of different things. So this includes cosmetics like at the top of the page here, but also some things that help you with gearing out, such as this weapon series and more. But before delving too far into this shop yet, I just wanted to explain how to get these seasonal points for some newer players. So with these seasonal points, you can get them by doing quests, so either dailies, weeklies, or limited time ones, and they have like this symbol here. It shows how many points that you would get on the right hand side. Like this one gives like 10,000, this one's 3,000, so on and so forth between the different quests here. You can also do the limited time quest at any quest counter. So you just click this first option here, and it's called the Drill Moonlight Invasion. So depending on what rank you do, can also give you some more seasonal points. So rank 5 is 10,000. I can go all the way down to rank 1 with 5,000 points. But then you can also get seasonal points by just killing any enemies in the open worlds, be it an exploration zone or a combat zone. So it can be any level as well, and it will give you a certain amount of seasonal points based on their level and also what type of enemy it is. Going back to Z-Tray though, you can actually get a booster for these seasonal points as well by going to Exchange Gathering Materials. So then you can get this Moongaze Dongo is what it's called, that increases the amount of seasonal points that you get by defeating these enemies by 10% for 2 hours. So with this, you just exchange 10 food items, and it can be any food items from any region. So you can just put in some things that you would never use to get this item. That's pretty much it for getting seasonal points. So going back to the shop here, as I said, there's a whole bunch of cosmetics. So this includes like a mag form, accessories, and even a motion change dash. But more importantly, the thing to look at is this new weapon series, the 6-star Codeck Weapons. So for this weapon series, there's a weapon in every category, so you don't have to worry about missing out. And they come pre-upgraded as well, so they start off plus 40 enhanced, and also have a whole bunch of augments and start out with a potential level 1. So with this potential, the impervious unit at level 1 has 19% potency, but at level 4 goes up to 25%. But through all of that, you have this special ability that prevents you from being launched or knocked back by enemy attacks and creates a barrier that provides 40% damage resistance when at max HP. This is a very good survivability potential. So each time you top off your HP, once you get hit, you're only taking 60% of the damage instead of, the whole 100%. But I think the more important thing that is on these weapons is the exclusive augment that comes with it called the Sezen Lunafive. So with this versus Moongazing 22 seasonal enemies, so it's only good for this event specifically, but you get potency plus 15%, crit hit rate plus 20%, and an additional 25% damage resistance. This is absolutely insane. So if you combine this with your potential, just like with these two alone, you get up to 40% potency, but the way potency works is actually multiplied together as well, so it's actually more than that. Just the extra crit rate, so that's even more damage there, and just like even more survivability. So this is just absolutely crazy. It's a very good 6-star weapon. It's actually so good, it's essentially equivalent to a 7-star weapon for this event. So if you only have like a 6-star or less right now, then I would highly recommend using these weapons. But once again, just keep in mind that this only applies to the current season's enemies. So once the month is done, this will no longer apply. And also for certain types of enemies, even during the event, like in purple triggers, they're not considered seasonal enemies. Regardless of that fact, though, this is probably still one of the best 6-stars that we would have, even without this augment included, just because of this potential being so good with up to 25% potency and just this ability here. But for things that also come included with this weapon by default, there's Nighttime Exploit 1 to get extra potency during the nighttime, so kind of niche for that. Ratty Soul 3, which is a generic potency, extra HP and PP. so that's pretty nice, and then a triple bull, which is just some more damage on top. Of course, with these though, if you don't really like them, then you can just switch them out for any other augments, and even plus 50 this weapon to get an extra slot. And then just keep in mind, if you're not level 40 yet, you can't currently equip this weapon, but I would highly recommend for those new to the game or who don't have 7 stars to get this. But for other things in the shop, we have these armors here. So these are rarity 4, 5, and 6, respectively. These are more placeholder armors. So if you're like a new player and don't really have anything yet, these are good to increase your battle power very easily. But they're actually not that great. So I would probably use the quality armor like when you're level 10, the Vios at 24, and then like the Stato when you get 42. But when you get to the Sustato and keep getting like higher and higher levels, closer to the level 60 max, I would look at replacing these with like the variant Sustato armors, like the Arga Belta Sheza, or with Belgrin armor. Then for the rest of the shop, though, we have all of the minerals in the game, so anything that you would want with that. Low temperature damage resistance boosters, which is for the Gorge in Kavaris to resist the damage over time effect. Whole bunch of different capsules that you can augment onto your gear, a lot of them being very nice to use. But then at the bottom here, we have these things called alpha reactors, which basically you just exchange these to sell them. So each one that you get can be sold for 3,500 Meseta, and you can buy 100 in each of these slots, so 200 currently. So that is a lot of money, like 700,000 Meseta, so really nice for a free-to-play player. And then also at the bottom here is augmentation success rate, so that can help with that augmenting with these capsules. And then of course there's grinders here, but you don't really need to exchange for grinders. They're very, very common. Just go smash some green boxes. But as always with this shop, they will expand upon it in the second half, so in a couple weeks' time. So there'll be more reactors, more capsules, more cosmetics, basically more of everything. Moving away from this seasonal shop and into some of the other things with this event, we have some unique Rappies, the Moongaze Rappies. They don't really drop anything special. They just give like some exploit capsules and some extra seasonal points, but nothing too much with that. But something that is exciting that makes a return is the Randomite mineral chunks. So with these, they show up in all exploration sectors, and they generally spawn in clusters of 2 to 5. And with these, each one that you smash, you get like 20 to 30 minerals. And for these minerals, they can be anything in the game, including Blizzardium now, which they did not do before. So a great way to accelerate to those Khazar 7-star weapons. With these, though, they only respawn weekly instead of daily, like the normal minerals. So I would try to at least go for them every so often throughout the week. Then the last thing here for the seasonal event is the limited time quest mentioned before, the Moonlight Invasion. So this has ranks 1 through 5 with varying loot pools and seasonal point rewards. So in my opinion, rank 1, 2, and even like 3 aren't necessarily worth doing because they give you very little reward. But with rank 4 and 5, they give you a little bit more. So these higher ranks, they have better chances of giving the Codeck Weapons and also can give Soul 3 capsules. But even at rank 5, you can get the Mastery 3 capsules, which can be made into Mastery 4s, which is the best capsule in the game. But for this quest, this is a practice drill or a simulation going into a battle from 10 years ago. So this is where you're going to face a whole bunch of enemies on Mount Magnus and eventually go and protect Central City against what is called an Elder Nex Alio. And then during this final fight, you'll be teamed up with none other than Garoa from Alio Town. You know, the super powerful one that we all know. But with this Elder Nex Alio, he actually starts off with 3 heads instead of just the one, like the usual Nex Alio. That's what's special with this version. And I think there's a couple fire moves that are kind of tweaked as well. But regardless, you should have an easy time with this boss. Once you finish this quest, you can get those rewards, as I mentioned before. So like Soul 3s, Mastery 3s, and some Codeck Weapons. But most of the time, I would say you don't actually get these. The Soul 3s seem pretty common on like rank 5, but those Codeck Weapons and the Mastery 3s don't show up very often. So I'd almost recommend just going into combat zones and actually farming this limited time quest if you're going after those. But that's pretty much it for this seasonal event. The 21st, we'll be getting the second half, where we'll be getting those extra items in the shop, as well as some more limited time tasks. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.